ARCEx is a collaboration project involving 6 universities, 4 research institutes and 8 oil companies in Norway. And our aim and goal is to understand the petroleum resources of the Arctic, how to develop the best possible technology that suits the Arctic, which has the least possible environmental impact. The research is mainly divided into 3. So 3 intertwined projects. One is to understand the Arctic geology.
We're dealing with petroleum geology and exploration of the Barents Shelf, so of course geology is a very crucial and important component. I've been working with several different projects and different aspects of sedimentation in Svalbard and the Barents Sea. But particularly I've been focusing on the Paleogene succession that were deposited 60 million years ago in what they call the central basin of Spitsbergen. So I think this basin is a good analog to some of the basins that you find along the western Barents Shelf margin.
Here you can see there's a layer in the rocks that is a bit darker here, and across the fault you see that this block here has gone down on the other side of the fault. Here you have a layer of sediments here that is thicker where the fault has moved down, so you had some space to deposit more sediments.
Of course, when it comes to exploration, having Svalbard as an uplifted part of the subsurface is very important, because then we can use this as an analog to the stratigraphy that the companies are working with in the southern part of the Barents Sea.
The other one is to understand the environmental impact of our activities.
We operate with ecosystem-based management in this region of the world, and that means it's a balance of protecting the environment but also utilizing the resources that exist there. And that is a big challenge, because you have to bring all the stakeholders to the table, you have to communicate the risks, and you have to come up with solutions and manage the future development activities. The final component is a focus on marine mammals, because marine mammals are at the top of the food web in the Arctic. They're very much associated with sea ice, so we have a very strong focus on marine mammals in the program.
Marine ecology is an important part of ARCEx, because we want to work sustainable, and we need to understand the ecosystem. In case something happens, then we need to understand which consequences it can have for the ecosystem.
And the third is to develop the best possible eco-friendly technology that is suitable in these vulnerable areas.
We are taking part in other projects that use new technology to collect data and analyze data. So of course that's the link between kind of old school conventional geology, being out in the field, is easily combined with new technology.
We also do some technology projects where we develop drone technology for use in these areas, and that requires special infrastructure.
I use drones or unmanned aerial vehicles to look at marine mammals, more specifically whales. They fly in using waypoints, following a set path that we design in a computer with the help of Norut. And then every 3 or 4 seconds they take a picture, and then I look to see if there is a whale there or not, and look at the quality of that picture to see how certain I am and what are the light conditions. It's essentially to test how good these tools are, because the use of these systems is quite recent and has been developing really fast. So having this for marine mammals, it removes almost completely having the observation that you collect at sea and then goes away, that nobody else can look at that. So then you have a recording that several people can see, and you can remove what's so-called as the observer bias.
The biggest resource we have in a program like this is the group of young people.
We have a number of PhD students and postdocs based at universities, but they are also coupled to institutes.
What I'll be doing is that I will investigate the source rock properties of
specific period, the Triassic period. And also next year we plan to go to Svalbard and collect samples there as well. So I will also be collecting samples in Bjørnøya. And we'll correlate that with wells which have been drilled in the Barents Sea. And we can see how these properties of the source rock changes laterally. And then we can try to determine how the quality of the source rock is in terms of hydrocarbon potential.
We conduct many field expeditions and research expeditions, and it could be close by, or it could be trips that require the use of ships. And the University of Tromsø has a research vessel that we use for that. And then we have access to very good laboratories at several of the participating universities, but also industry partners help us with their laboratories. So all in all, it's a complicated mix of different infrastructure that helps us to conduct the research and give best possible results back to the participants. I don't know any other project which brings all of these activities together into one project like this. And also the sheer volume and size of this project is such that we will have an impact. It's an 8-year project involving many partners.
The cooperation between the academia, the government and the companies as cooperators is very unique in a Norwegian setting at least. And the size of the project and the diversity is also very unique.
It's a continuous process of improving the way we do things as new knowledge comes to the table.
By getting the communication going, we can actually also get good information back from authorities that we can use to improve our research programs. The ultimate delivery, I think, is that we would have been very useful for the authorities, for the oil companies, and for the research institutions and universities who are involved in the project. We will have educated about 30 PhD students and trained postdocs, and we will have published a set of good papers in the best journals.